Panic attacks are getting increasingly common these days, and there are a lot of people in the anxious who are pressing the panic button so they can calm themselves down. So, I wanted to make this video about how to manage your panic attacks when you're having. Now, this is not a guide on how to calm yourself down if you're having a panic attack right now. If you're having a panic attack right now, go check out the panic attack calming video I've made. You can also press the panic button in the anxious and you will get access to the same video as well as the chat bot for free. So if you still don't have a the anxious account, now would be a good time to create one. So you have access to those tools. Panic attacks are caused by your amygdala overreacting, your mind basically overreacting and releasing all sorts of chemicals, trying to prime your body for action in a sense of a looming threat that it might be sensing. Now, in ancient times, that could have been a tiger, that could have been flood, that might be, your cave might be flooding, or your crops might getting ruined by flood or whatever, or, a fire, right? Anything, right? Could be a snake, could be any looming danger, could be an attack by an incoming tribe. This burst of energy due to all kinds of chemicals, especially adrenaline being released, primes you up so you can run, you can escape, you can save your life from that, right? Now, we live in a world where a lot of those things don't exist anymore. We live in a really comfortable world where everything is available to us. And our mind is not primed for today's world. Our mind is wired for the world that doesn't exist anymore. Our mind is wired for a world that hasn't existed for, maybe hundreds of years, probably even thousands, depends where you're from, which society you're from, right? So we get all these different messaging from social media, from general news, from our regular interactions, or even the way we were raised as kids, which short circuits our mind unless we deal with it. And panic attacks happen, right? If panic attack happens more frequently, then it becomes a panic disorder. But just because you have infrequent panic attacks does not mean you have a panic disorder. You can have this conversation with your therapist about how to manage your panic disorder more effectively. But the way we manage it at the anxious with the tools that we have, the tools that we've created, is more around understanding your panic, what might be causing it. We go from there. Then understanding and accepting that panic attacks are harmless. I don't know anybody who's ever died from panic attacks. Now, can somebody die from panic attack? I was having this conversation with one of our therapists that works for the anxious, and he said that it is possible for people to die from panic attacks if they have a heart condition, like a diagnosed heart condition, like blood pressure that is unmanaged and jacked up really high, or they've previously had a stroke, or, their arteries are all clogged up, like really badly clogged up. And when I say clogged up, I mean they would need clinical intervention at that point. But those people could also easily die from just doing some cardio because they're just not physically fit. So when their heart rate jacks up, their blood pressure artificially jacks up from panic attacks, well, it predisposes them to certain things, certain nasty things. But for most people, it is pretty harmless. It's just, their adrenaline jacking up and it naturally tapers down. That is just how it happens. You will never get stuck in that position ever. It just naturally tapers down. That is just how physiology works. So the way you can manage panic attacks is, again, you can go watch that audio or the video, depending on where you're watching this or listening to this, and it should help you calm down. So you can calm yourself down by first accepting that you're having a panic attack, okay? Things are going to be okay. Then you focus on your breathing. You take some deep breaths. You try the 4-7-8 technique and some double inhale methods that Andrew Huberman mentioned before, which is really good. So you try those techniques. And once you've done that for 10 to 15 repetitions, You ground yourself. Grounding is basically a method of distracting yourself, but people do that with other things as well. For example, a friend of mine plays video games, specifically strategy video games, to distract himself. But that is a really inefficient way of distracting yourself because it takes him, 2, 3 hours to do that. Another thing is you could do is to focus on an object. Whatever you do, it is really important not to engage with the thoughts that you might be having, the panicky thoughts that might be going through your head. Whatever the voice inside your head is telling you that you might die, or you have to do this, you will lose your house, you will never be liked, or people are laughing at you. All these conversations, negative things that are happening in your mind, let them pass. Do not engage with them. Do not reason with them. Do not strategize on how to deal with them. Don't do anything. Just let them pass. Because even if you try to engage with them, whatever solution you're going to come with it, you're thinking from an anxiety point of view, and the decision you will make is not going to be a sound decision. So once you've calmed yourself down, once that panic attack has gone away, or at least tapered down, then you can use de-anxious's problem solving tool. I think that tool is available for free if you have a de-anxious account, but you can essentially use that problem solving tool to come up with a solution for whatever problem that your panic attack was triggered for, right? It could be, anything. You just have to figure out exactly what caused it and then how you can solve that problem. And then if it happens again, do not engage. Repeat the same thing. But this time, since you've already solved that problem, it is something that you cannot control. And if it is something that you have absolutely no control over, then you just do not engage with that thought. Let that thought pass through you. And that's how you do it. Then other things that you can do is certain relaxation techniques, long relaxation, short relaxation, targeted relaxation. Again, these things, I've created other videos for that. And this is out of the scope for this video. So we'll talk about this more in detail in those specific videos about relaxation. Then, some people also visualize. They visualize themselves doing something completely irrelevant or totally calming. And when you're doing that, it is normal for some of those panicky thoughts to leak into that. And that is okay. You just do not engage with them. You just let that happen, and so on and so forth, right? Some people also listen to music, some soothing music, some nature sounds, or, some really rock music, and just engage with the beats, engage with the rhythm, engage with the message of the music, the lyrics of the music, but not with the anxious thoughts. And when you're having anxiety or when you're having panic attacks, it is often normal for your mind to be hyper aware about things related to that panicky feelings or those anxious thoughts. So you would notice more of these things. This is just, it's normal. It's kind of like that phenomena when you buy like a certain pair of shoes and all of a sudden you see those shoes everywhere. It's normal. Other than that, you can also call a friend. You can talk to somebody. You can message somebody or talk to the anxious community on Discord, messages, and, we will help you calm down. Find a quiet place to, sit and just let your thoughts pass through you, and you can observe them like they're passing. You're watching a river passing, just like watching traffic, but you do not engage with them. You do not do anything about that, right? And that tends to help people calm down. And the important thing at the end is to remind yourself the panic attacks are temporary and they will eventually subside. And just be patient, right? And the physical symptoms are just going to decrease. Just make sure to breathe slowly, deeper inhales, pause, and then deeper exhales, and it's just going to pass. Talk to your therapist about this if you're having it frequently, because you might be having a panic disorder, and there are techniques that you can use to cope and manage it. There are medicines that you can take. There are relaxants, muscle relaxants you can take to manage your physical symptoms if it's extremely frequent. Just don't get overwhelmed. It's all right. It's normal. And that is how we deal with panic attacks, the anxious, at least the way we teach people on how to deal with it.